Veterans Day is a time to both thank and honor the men and women who have served in our nation's military during both peacetime and in war. Only about 7% of the 318 million citizens in the United States have served in our military. But in the Buffalo District, more than 25% of our employees have served. Those who have served and their families have made many personal sacrifices to protect and ensure the freedom and way of life that has been enjoyed by so many people in our country for more than 240 years. Please take time this Veterans Day to in some way honor our men and women who have proudly served in our military. Thank you.
My father served in the Army Air Corps from June 1943 to December of 1945. During that time, he had the pleasure of executing 7 bombing raids over Germany, but unfortunately spent over a year as a POW in a prisoner of war camp in Germany. He didn't speak of his experience for about 50 years after he got out, but we've learned a lot since then and appreciate his service.
My favorite duty station ever was Keflavik, Iceland. It was such a family-oriented place. Even if you weren't family, you were family. But the year I was there, they set a record for the fewest number of hours of sunshine ever. And morale among my troopers was pretty low. So one morning, after I slogged to work one more time through a dismal, dreary day, I stood up at morning quarters and said, whimsical thought. You know, as dreary as it is here and as bad as we feel, there's people back at home who envy us. Everybody laughed, and it brought sunshine to their lives for that day, so that was good.
My cousin, Sergeant Eli Parker of Camden, New York, lost his life at the age of 21 while performing his duties as a combat engineer in Al Anbar Province, Iraq, with the U.S. Marine Corps' Combat Engineer Battalion, based in Camp Pendleton, California. Eli wholly epitomized the meaning of the slogan, "The few, the proud, the Marines." Eli loved his job. He was born to be a Marine. His father, Rennie Parker, is a Vietnam veteran. When Eli was young, he would sit and look at his father's medals in amazement. While camping out in the desert under an Iraqi starlit sky, he wrote a letter to his family saying how wonderful his life was, what an awesome feeling it was to be surrounded by friends who would give their life to save his, knowing he would do the same for them. If he happened to drive on Sergeant Elisha R. Parker Veterans Memorial Highway on Route 13 in the village of Camden, Oneida County, the road sign installed last fall is not only a reminder that Eli died in service to his country, but also that he lived and was not forgotten by his family and his community.
I think of my time in the military, I think of what an honor and privilege it was to serve with, mentor, and train our infantry and special forces soldiers. Many of these soldiers have served with distinction in combat zones, and I'm very thankful for their friendship and their service.
I want to share a critical moment with you when I was in the military. My husband and I both were supposed to deploy to Saudi Arabia, but luckily I was canceled and didn't have to go. But he still had to go. Well, while he was there, he was taking some soldiers to the post office, and while they were at the post office, they were hit or attacked with a bomb. They scattered, and some were hurt, some weren't. My husband was hurt. And the bad thing about that, and the critical for me, was I didn't even know he was there. I had heard about the attack, but I didn't even know he was there. And when I found out, I was just so scared that something had happened to him, and then I just imagined myself losing him, and that was a critical moment for me.
I'm Rod Brinkman. I served in the U.S. Army from 1992 to 1999. My fondest memories was serving with the 2nd Infantry Division in the Republic of Korea in Europe, and it was also a pleasure serving with great professional soldiers and civilians. And I'm currently an admin assistant here at Buffalo U.S. Army Corps District.
My fondest memory is coming home from my deployment to Iraq. We were marching in formation under the big American flag that was held up by the fire trucks, and just seeing the look on my family's face and them crying is a very proud moment for me.
My sister, Judy Izzard, was in the Army Reserves and last served with the 42nd Infantry Division in Afghanistan. She served for 29 years and retired as a major. Judy has always been a person of exceptional character and a sibling to look up to. In addition to her accomplishments in service, she owns her own pharmacy in Pendleton called the Star Pharmacy. I'm very proud of her.
Lives lost, time passed, love found, friends last. Some know courage, some know pride, but all who have served know that feeling inside. They took a leap of faith and hope, never truly knowing the scope. Wherever they've served and in whatever way, we thank our veterans this Veterans Day.